Today, I want to share one of the most beloved poems in all of Chinese literature with you. It was written nearly 1,000 years ago by the poet Li Qingzhao, and it's this incredible work of delicacy and really just profound emotion, all captured in a handful of words. Before we break it down, let's just listen.
如梦令，昨夜雨疏风骤，浓睡不消残酒。试问眷怜人，却道海棠依旧。知否，知否，应是绿肥红瘦。
All right, so let's dive into this beautiful work. We're going to explore it line by line, kind of like you're unrolling a painted scroll, and just letting the scene reveal itself piece by piece. Right away, the poet sets the scene. In just these few characters, she paints a picture of a night with sudden, sharp winds and just scattered rain. You can tell this wasn't some gentle spring shower. This was a storm. And that immediately creates this sense of drama, a kind of quiet unease about what the morning's going to bring. And in this next line, we get a hint about her state of mind. We learned she'd been drinking. But this really wasn't for celebration. It seems she drank heavily to try and numb a very specific kind of sorrow, knowing that the fierce storm raging outside would almost certainly destroy her beloved crabapple blossoms. It's like this preemptive grief, you know? And even a deep sleep couldn't wash that worry away. So this quiet, internal drama, it now moves outward. It becomes this small, really poignant conversation that, honestly, it reveals everything about where the poet's mind is at. Now, this is what's really fascinating about this slide. Look at that very first character, 是. It doesn't just mean to ask. It really means to try to ask or to test. It just shows all of her hesitation. You can feel that she's dreading confirmation of what she already suspects happened in the garden. So she asks, but tentatively, almost fearfully. And here's the reply. It's from her maid, who's just rolling up the window blinds for the morning. Her response is so casual, so unconcerned. Oh, the crabapple blossoms? They're still the same, she says. But that little word right there, 却, quoi, which means but or however, that's the key. It just throws a spotlight on the stark contrast between the maid's complete indifference and the poet's own deep, anxious sensitivity. And it's this casual, almost dismissive answer from the maid that leads us directly to the poem's most famous and, frankly, most innovative lines. This is a moment of profound observation where she corrects the maid's simple, surface-level view. You can almost hear the sigh in her voice here, can't you? This repeated question, it's not really just for the maid. It's this mix of frustration at her servant's lack of awareness, and it's also a quiet internal confirmation of a sad truth that she feels so deeply. It's like she's saying, can't you see? Don't you understand what really happened? And here it is. This is the poet's inevitable conclusion. And it's not drawn from what she sees, but from this deep, empathetic understanding of nature. She just knows, with a certainty that goes way beyond what the eye can see, that after a storm like that one, the garden could not possibly be as it was.
So this brings us right to the heart of the poem, and to this incredible phrase that critics have been praising for centuries. Green fat. It just perfectly captures this image of leaves, now thriving and full of life after the rain. And then red thin. It personifies the frail, fading flowers, battered and diminished by the storm. It's such a vivid emotional contrast packed into just 4 characters.
You have to understand, this phrase was a true linguistic innovation at the time. I mean, instead of just saying, there are more leaves and fewer flowers, Li Qingzhao fills the scene with life and feeling. Fat and fin, those are words we associate with living beings, right? And it gives the garden this almost human-like quality of both thriving and suffering. So if we take a step back, we can start to see that the entire poem is so much more than just a description of a garden. It's really a window into the poet's soul, and it reflects themes that are still so deeply relevant to all of us today. So this isn't just a poem about flowers after a storm. It's about the heartbreaking beauty of transient things, of youth, of spring, of life itself. And it's about that ache we feel when we watch them fade. That's a feeling the maid, living in her more practical world, just can't grasp, which really highlights the quiet loneliness of the poet's incredibly keen perception. And critics have long agreed the genius of this poem lies in its emotional depth and its layered narrative. I mean, think about it. A storm, a hangover, a conversation, and a profound realization. All of it is conveyed with this masterful economy in just 33 characters. It's just brilliant. So the poem really leaves us with a question. It asks us to look beyond the surface, to see past that casual glance that just says things are as they were. It invites us to feel the world with a poet's heart, to notice, in our own lives, those moments when the green grows fat and the red grows thin.